All right. So it's been a long time, and this is going to be a new computer I'm kind of recording on. So this one I think I'm going to try doing it without the headset. I kind of hate wearing that thing, to be honest with you. That is like one half of a percent of a reason why I don't do as many videos as I should probably be doing. Um, there are a few reasons I've been drawn back into making a video to come back. And one of them, obviously, is the Trump victory. I'm not especially political. You can ask anybody who knows me. I don't really think American politics is something that is worth dwelling on. I think for the most part, it's kind of out of our control, the plebs. Um, Whatever's going to happen is going to happen. Whoever's agenda has the most money, they're going to make it happen. And that's kind of my 2 cents on it. I have many more cents, but I don't like to talk about it too much. I know that's kind of a big thing, but I don't talk about politics too much, other than the fact that Trump is obviously very pro crypto. He said some very pro crypto things on his campaign trail, and we'll see if he lives up to even a couple of the things that he promised. The future looks bright for crypto, and the markets are reflecting that, obviously. Um, on top of which, there's been a recent AMA with Chris from Crypto.com, which is one of the tokens that I cover heavily on this channel. I am beyond heavily invested in Crow. If you're a watcher of the channel in the past, maybe you know that like my position sizes in Crow are probably irresponsibly large. And that's not because I'm a wealthy person. It's just because I am taking on insane amounts of debt to leverage these positions. And I don't recommend that. But I don't recommend anything because I'm not a financial advisor. I don't give financial advice. Do your own due diligence. This is for entertainment purposes only. One of the strengths I think I have about this channel is I do most of this off the cuff, but I feel like I'm pretty a good flow with slipping that in there, just like a little intro to that intro. But yeah, I love Crow. Another reason I'm doing a video today. This morning I woke up and it was already pumping, 10% or whatever previous days because of the Trump election news, but this morning up 30%. It's good to see. It's been a long time coming, and this is hopefully not even just the tip of the iceberg, because this 30% pump puts us at a battle level. We are currently maybe like level with like the bleeding that we've experienced for the past few months. So maybe longer. Hopefully this continues, because I don't, it's been so long. I don't even remember what kind of price projections I might have said or offered. And obviously I've adjusted my thinking as the markets adjust, all that stuff. But like, I think I don't want to seem too optimistic and be disappointed. Because I am incredibly optimistic. I don't want to, I don't want to put it out there in the universe and have it unfulfilled. If that makes any sense. But I would view the crypto.com, the Cronos coin, as a flop if they went to about 50 cents. I mean, like, it would still be pretty much, because their previous all-time high was at almost $1. So if they're not meeting or exceeding their previous all-time highs, for an altcoin, something's kind of wrong. And so this bull run, if they're not meeting or exceeding that, it's a terrible flop. But for me, my kind of investment thesis is that even if the coin is a terrible flop, like, I would not expect them to do much worse than that, right? Like, to get to 50% of your previous all-time high, that's kind of a real POS return. But that's still a 5x from here. So when I and this is after that's a 5x from the 30% pump. You know, like even the rates of return on when we were at 6 cents, 7 cents, even more. So when I was doing the mental math on the back of the napkin, I was very heavy in some other investments, and I was just thinking, like the Bitcoin. Obviously, I had a strong Bitcoin position, but and maybe this is going to be something I regret, but I did turn a lot of it into Crow. Um, and Bitcoin dominance has been just on a tear. It's gone beyond 60%, and I kind of expected that to happen. But my thought is like, you're never going to call the absolute top. You're never going to call the absolute bottom. I went ahead and I pulled the trigger on upgrading my Crow card for the promotion they were offering with Samsung Welcome Package. I think I promised to do a follow-up video on how that all went. I want to do that. I want to keep my word. Maybe I'll do that in a following video because I want to dedicate a lot of time to how that whole process went. It was a very long process. I don't want to try to cram too much into my return video and then never do a video again for the rest of this year-long bull run that I'm expecting to have. So keep your eye out for that. I'll do a follow-up video on that upgrade process. I guess I'll give the long story short though. It went well. Surprisingly, I expected a lot more to go wrong than did. Actually, in retrospect, it went well. The first 75% of that experience was garbage. The last 25% made up for it. So it went well, and I will give more details later. Anyways, I upgraded by liquidating some of my Bitcoin. My thought process being, I did feel like the Bitcoin dominance was going to keep going. But do I feel like, at the time Bitcoin was maybe 50, 60 range? Do I feel like Bitcoin is going to do like an absolute 10x and go to $500,000? Like some people are calling for that. Some people called for $200,000 last cycle. And maybe they're going to be right this cycle. Maybe it'll perform last cycle. It's going to outperform this cycle. I don't really know. But that would be on the end of the bell curve for me as far as like what I expect for the performance this cycle, or that would be like on the outs. That would be on the pretty good, pretty out there return for Bitcoin. I mean, that would be a big ask for Bitcoin. I think to go to like 500K, like do a full 5 to 10x. Do I feel like Crow at the time, Crow 5, 6 cents or whatever, 7 cents? Do I feel like Crow at that level could do a 5x? Absolutely. Again, I think that would be a disappointment. So what I feel like when I did the math, I knew I wasn't going to capture like the absolute eke out every last percentage of my Bitcoin to Crow ratio worth. Like I knew I was going to probably painfully sit on my hands while Crow continued to bleed and Bitcoin continued to run. But I figured the compensation at the time was the sooner I lock up the Crow at that level in the card stake, I'm still getting the 8% back. So if the 8% appreciates at a 10x, that's even better. And if the stake I get appreciates at 10x, that's what I'm doing, the movement that I'm trying to get. And then I enjoy that welcome package. So yeah, that was my thought process there. I'm already rambling. I don't even know what my original point was. I got into Crow, 30% up today, I guess. I expect it to continue. I hope it to continue. I cover Crow heavily on this channel. I have some of the merch, obviously, from upgrading. I'm in about every project you can imagine. I've stopped paying attention to a lot of it because just stress will get to you. I've been dealing with some issues myself with like just health and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to try to keep doing more regular videos now that the bull run's back. Part of the reason, again, there's lots of parts, but another thing that I wasn't doing videos for is like there was no engagement. And there's still it's one of the most bullish things I think for this bull run, this continuance of the bull run. Social engagement is still crazy low. Crazy low. Retail is not here. Bitcoin is at setting new blue sky breakout all-time highs. and nobody's paying attention, which is incredible. It's you know, it's scary to think about like where it might maybe it will hit that 500K mark. I don't know. But when people actually start to feel FOMO and pay attention and get back engaged in the platform, um, I think that's going to be fun times. But yeah, nobody's paying attention to the space. The money that's coming in, it's all BlackRock or whatever the ETFs. I don't know. It's just this whole cyclical thing. But nobody's watching the YouTube videos, and I'm hoping that with the bull run coming back, maybe attention will come back. These videos will get some more views, and then people will use my referral code, right? So, uh, side note though, I do have them. Check them out. Crypto.com should be at the top of the list there somewhere. I have a pretty high perk level, so we each get $200 of Crow if you sign up and get that card. And $200 of Crow at this level, like again, I expect it to 10x as a flop. So that could be 2K. Could you imagine getting $2,000 of value just because you watched a YouTube video and said, hey, screw it, let me sign up for this card? That'd be pretty crazy, but no promises. It could also go to zero. I don't expect that to happen, though. Again, what I touched on earlier, that AMA video that Chris did and just released, he cited a roadmap, which I think, like I said, again, another reason for the pump we're experiencing right now. This roadmap for 2025 for Crypto.com, there are some very tasty things in there that could really expand the platform and its users. And so I'm pretty excited about that. Just to name a few, they want a Cronos ETF, they want a stable coin, and they're going to incorporate AI. And that seemed to be what Chris was super excited about. Like he said, head and tails, that's going to create more value, more bang for the buck than anything else. And he was so excited. He couldn't even talk about it because it was super secret. And so, hey, I am excited too. Also, the burns. I should mention the burns. I don't know. Maybe they changed their minds because of the election, and Gary Gensler's going to get scooted out soon. Gestured toward the door. Let's just say, there's the door, Gary Gensler. Go have a good rest of your miserable existence. That makes me so happy. Yeah, so maybe it's because Gary Gensler's probably going to be on his way out. They decided to really pull the trigger on some things, and this Cronos, this quarterly burn, this buyback and burn. No details yet on it. We don't know the real mechanism behind it, but if it does what BNB does, then again, just that alone. I mean, because BNB has outperformed us by so much. So much, and it's such a close comparable token that it's the closest comparable token that you can compare us to, and it's been just smoking us. And that buyback and burn mechanism is probably a big part of it. And it's funny because their CEO went to jail, and people still love him, and we are getting nothing but compliance, and we've been bleeding. But I think that's going to turn around. I'm hoping that's going to turn around. This video maybe is the start of that turnaround. Like and subscribe if you're not. I do giveaways on top of my referral codes that I shill that we can both benefit from. I do giveaways. I've given away thousands of dollars of crypto at this point, I think, or at least it was valued at thousands of dollars at the time. I don't know. It's hard to keep track of, but I aim to do more. I just need the engagement. I need to get it out there. So, yeah, like and subscribe. Stay tuned.